Our practice is heavily focused on refractive cataract surgery and refractive lens exchange. And by moving our procedures into our in-office OR, we were not only able to increase the conversion rates, but we're also able to provide that LASIK-like experience that those patients are expecting when they have that type of procedure done. I think where we saw the biggest improvement in conversion rates is in two areas: refractive lens exchange and ICL. Refractive lens exchange patients, they're all coming in thinking they're going to have LASIK. So they're expecting a LASIK-like experience. A lot of their family and friends have had LASIK with us, and so they're expecting that same level of service. It also affected our premium cataract surgery patients because they chose us for a reason. They feel comfortable with us. They feel comfortable with the staff that's been seeing them. And so for us to tell them, oh, we're going to take you across town to this third-party facility that you've never heard of and do your surgery there, that actually turns out to be frightening for some people. And it's another entity that we're introducing into the system. But now that we've had our in-office OR, I've learned that they are much more comfortable coming here because they're used to the physicians that are here, the staff, the facility. They chose us for a reason. They want to have everything done here. And so by offering the procedure to be done here rather than going across town, in their mind, is a really big deal. And that's been something that's been surprising to me that makes sense now that I look at it.
I was blown away by the technology, about the overall care, how they really hold your hand through the entire process. Everybody's very knowledgeable. I really felt a real sense of confidence.
We've been able to decrease our cost per case significantly by moving it into our in-office suite. We can control the supplies, we can control the vendors, we can control the staff expenses. There's so many things that we can control that we couldn't control in a third-party center, and that's allowed us to be much more efficient from a cost perspective as well. Since we moved our procedures into our in-office suite, we are now able to do about 80% of them with just oral sedation, such as Valium. So we've eliminated all anesthesia charges from 80% of the cataracts that we're doing. And so that's been a huge cost savings for patients, and they really appreciate that. In the COVID era, where we are keeping as much space in between patients as we can, we have a lot of flexibility with that in our own center. So we can control that and still maintain the same volume and the same throughput that we have always had. Some of those things are hard to quantify compared to what we used to do, but the savings are definitely there, and they are extremely apparent when you look at the bottom line at the end of the year. There's an enthusiasm from our staff around lens-based procedures now that we're doing them here in our office. Now that all of that's done in our center with all of our staff participating, the enthusiasm around all of that has gone up. So staff is more comfortable recommending those procedures, are more comfortable discussing those procedures. I think we're more knowledgeable when we speak to patients about it. I think we're more comfortable with what the post-op expectations are because those procedures are happening here. So that's been something that I hadn't planned on, but it's been a pleasant surprise. So if you're considering moving to an in-office OR, I would tell you that it is a big undertaking, that to do it right takes expertise. It takes people who understand everything that's required from A to Z. They understand the equipment that's needed, the training that's needed, the space design that is needed, how to deal with payers, how to deal with the efficiencies that come from it. And iOR Partners checks those boxes extremely well. Very professional to work with, extremely expert in this subject matter. I mean, they are the experts on in-office surgery, and they know exactly what needs to happen. And the comfort level that I had working with them was very, very high. It continues to be very, very high. And I don't know how you would develop a center like this without their help. It's really that specialized of a service. So I would highly encourage anyone to work with iOR Partners.